Future Millionaire. It's 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I reside in the great state of Michigan. A little snowy today, but I wanted to come at you with my phone. I'm just a tad bit tied up right now. But I want to show you guys, like I've been reiterating this entire time, if Bitcoin were to fall out and lose 44,227, it's going to be a pretty quick drop to 42,817, but ultimately we would probably come back down, and if we lose this, it would probably do something like this, you know, maybe bounce around, but then it's probably going to come all the way back down here and retest, if it was even able to hold this, because if this pulls down any farther than this, it becomes that M-topping reversal, and that's what you would not want to be a part of. So I told everybody using a swing trade, no matter if they're up, down, or indifferent, if Bitcoin breaks that, it's going to be a problem. But it's still, where the RSI and stochastic are in the shorter time frames up to the 4-hourly, it's going to be difficult for Bitcoin to make a huge dump from here. It's going to have to go up and overextend itself again and then have a voracious dump. So we're going to see, but this certainly could use this as an M-topping reversal. And we talked about it on the way down the first time, but now we have to talk about it again. If it doesn't hold this, and the key thing to hold here as well is the daily is right here at 44,400 roughly. You don't want to fall below that. It can even pull up, because as of right now, we're still in a bull flag. This is a consolidation area. All we're doing is consolidating and acquiring positions while we're on this bull flag. But if it breaks a certain level, then obviously that's when you have to worry. Right now, it's nothing. Right now, it's exactly what it's supposed to do. You came up, down, down. And then if it pulls back, you know, you could start to do this to break up. But if you see this up, down, and then it just sideways down, you can't stay in when it breaks this area, no matter how much hopium you have. That's where you have to bail out. From a technical standpoint, you're not going to want to stay in, because then you can just rebuy in if it gets down here and holds, because it technically could hold down there. It could go down to 42,800 area. That's why if it were to dump, I would sell out right when it breaks there, because then you know Bitcoin's going down some 3.5%. Your altcoins would follow, and it would do the same thing. But right now, XRP is just doing exactly what we talked about before. A lot of people are getting into short positions, but I personally think this is a dangerous spot to get into a short. If I was buying a short, knowing how far XRP would have to drop if it breaks this, I wouldn't get into a short until it breaks that's broken symmetrical. Because then if you break that 77 cents, I mean, you know you're coming down significantly. Right now, there's still too many chances to get shorted out, because a lot of people are shorting the market right now. They're starting to short the market, and there's a lot of spots that still get stopped out here. Because on the weekly with XRP, it's interesting, all these patterns, what we've done. Because we've had the cross, but we also pulled back up through XRP, invalidating a weekly bearish cross. So that was an interesting thing that took place. In the daily, we obviously came down, and this is what we were talking about. We broke these time frames. So we knew we were going to come down and correct. Now, XRP, is it going to come back down below that double bottom where this tap is? I don't know. I don't think it can. I don't think it's going to have enough testicular fortitude to push much farther than that. And I think shorts would probably lose that position. I guess if you shorted it and it came down to here and you were up like 10x or whatever. It's just, right now it's still, yes, it looks like a bear flag. But at the same time, a lot of times when these bear flags pull all the way up like this, it kind of doesn't have enough weight, and it'll end up hooking itself back around and surprising the market. There's a lot of things on these indicators that we have to watch this market actually break through, because when they pump up, they try to dump a lot and push people out. So for me, I have the overwhelming with Matic. If it breaks $1.56, I'm out. And then I'll just buy it back. When it comes down here to the symmetrical, it'll probably have a nice big drop of 20% or more. Or, what's that, about 10 to 15 minimum. And then it might not even hold that. It would probably come back down to the bottom of the wedge, which would put you all the way back down here at about $1.24. And then that's where I would probably start eyeing it to get back in. This swing trade is by no means over for me. If I were to sell out, because I'm going to keep watching it until it gets to the appropriate level. I'm just not selling it until it proves it to me, because right now on the stochastic and RSI for Matic, stochastic is in the oversold, but it's creating a double bottom. RSI is creating a double bottom in the 4 hourly, unless it breaks through it, but that's what it looks like. It even came down on the EMA lines on the daily, and it's basically a perfect touch. It can come down a little bit more, but a perfect touch of support before we would have an explosive move on the cross from the daily, because the 20 is trying to cross the 50 as we speak, and that would be a very serious bullish indicator. And the volume's decreasing right now, so if this holds true, this could be a nice little reversal playing out right before our very eyes, but it's also not going to make it easy. I wouldn't be surprised if this wicked all the way down to here to come down, trick some people out. But right now, just look at the 4 hourly. We're starting to do some very interesting things right now in the 4 hourly, and it's becoming very apparent that we could be creating some kind of double bottom on not only the RSI, which we're getting close to, and I'm not saying it's going to hold because there's still options to come down a little bit farther, but then on the stochastic, it's already down to a 1235 double bottom, so that's pretty low. And right now, if this pulled up, as you guys know, this would be an apple and a diamond bottom right here. If it were to pull up, that would be considered an apple and a diamond bottom. You have a support line that is a ascending support, and then it ends up having an explosive move. So don't get bullied out. Sell at the appropriate level. I'll be with you every step of the way. Join my Telegram groups. Pay $9.99 a month. Join Tom's Army. And also, if you're watching from my Dogecoin and You channel, because I did this as a multicast because I was busy, but I had to get all this information out, join the Dogecoin and You for $9.99 a month. It's my swing trading alerts group.